My Father hasn't. Every single time the Lord will provide. Oh, my Father hasn't. My Father hasn't. Everything I need, oh, everything I need. Yes, my Father hasn't. My Father hasn't. Every single time the Lord will provide. 'Cause my Father hasn't. Seek first the kingdom and its treasures, and everything else will be added. I'm still believing. I know the Lord will provide. And I know my God's not empty-handed. He gives us blessings upon blessings. I'm still believing. I know the Lord will provide. Yes, He will. I know the Lord will provide. I know the Lord will provide.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the online worship service at Hulen Street Church. Thank you so much for allowing us to do this. The days between Christmas and the New Year are so busy. We just need a break for our staff and for all of our ministry leaders. We are here today at the home of Taylor and Haley Wade, and we're joined by Liam Wade, who's about ready for a nap. But we're going to do some time today together where we're going to celebrate what God has done in 2025. We're going to anticipate what God's going to do in 2026. But we're so glad you're here. If you're a guest with us, we'd love for you to let us know that you're out there. Liam wants you to know that we're so glad that you're here, and he wants to know that you're there. So you can go to hulenstreet.com/connect and let us know that you're visiting with us today. We'd love to send you a thank you for doing that. But let's get into it today. So sit back, relax, and enjoy our morning together.
Sing worthy. Here we go. Worthy of every song we could ever sing. And worthy of all the praise we could ever bring. my trust in you, Lord, and I will not be shaken. Holy, there is no one like you, and there is none beside you. Open up my eyes in wonder and show me who you are, and fill me with your heart and lead me in your love to those around me. Sing worthy. Worthy of every song we could ever sing, and worthy of all the praise we could ever bring.
All right. Hey, guys. So when the kids were younger, we had a little bit of a tradition. We had a box Leslie would get. And then over the course of the year, they would bring home their art projects or their tests or whatever, pictures, things movie tickets, whatever it was, just kind of a memory box for the year. And then at the end of the year, we'd kind of sit around and we'd pull the thing out and we'd kind of reminisce about the year. So I thought that would be fun for us to do. And so what I've done is I've asked everybody here on staff to choose one thing that they wanted to celebrate for 2025, and they brought an object, and we have placed them in the bag. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pass it around, and somebody's gonna draw the object out of the bag. They don't know what they're gonna get, but they're gonna pull something out of the bag, and then whoever brought that object gets to explain the significance of the object and what it represents, and how we're celebrating what God did at Hulen Street Church in 2025. Okay, everybody understand? All right, awesome. So Trisha, you sat to my right, so you're going to be the first one to go. So reach into the magic bag.
Okay, this is fun.
Pull something out.
Here.
Oh,
We have a little mini disco ball.
Yes.
Yes. Who brought this?
I brought it.
Oh, because it reflects.
Oh,
I
yeah.
see what you did there.
Yeah.
So I got that because obviously it represents our Reflect conference, which is one of my favorite things that we do all year. I feel like it encompasses all the fun things we do all year, and then the worshipfulness of it all, and then our, we focus a lot on Bible study, and it all culminates, I think, in that conference. But I think one of my favorite parts is just watching the ladies interact during the table time and just seeing new relationships be made, or just seeing them just love on each other, even though they might not have known each other before they sat down. That's one of my favorite things of the year to watch.
I love that.
That's me.
Wait. What is it first?
Okay,
Let's make sure
Austin,
everybody sees
turn it
it.
around for us. So this is a little craft for kids, children's minister here, in case you're wondering. We did a new event this year called Best Weekend Ever. And this was really a focused weekend of discipleship for our grade schoolers, kindergarten through 6th grade. And it was a long weekend, and it was the first time we did it. And we had our small group leaders that were going to be the new small group leaders for 2025, 2026, be the leaders for the weekend. And the kids came, and there were lots of games, lots of activities, Bible studies, worship. Austin led worship for us, super fun, high energy. And this little craft has the Lord's Prayer that we were teaching the kiddos that weekend, and then it also just has a little fun craft that they got to do. We also worked on teaching the kids the books of the Bible, and then just going through and teaching them God's Word throughout the weekend. We had over 100 kids come, which we were so thrilled about, and amazing leaders that poured into the kids, and it was just a great way to kick off the year and be the first time to do a new event that we will do again this upcoming year.
And they actually memorized the Lord's Prayer.
Yes, many of them did memorize the Lord's Prayer, and it's something we're continuing to do on Sunday mornings, the books of the Bible and the Lord's Prayer.
That's awesome. Love that. Very good. Yeah, that was a huge win, I thought. And then it kind of set you guys up for a new year with all of your leaders.
Yeah,
and
the leaders got to connect with the kids and get to know them before they started the year.
those connections and relationships are so crucial to their ministry. So awesome. That's great. Tell Luke thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so
That's the good
this
stuff.
represents the Hazel Harvey Peace Valentine's Day dance.
Oh,
They
yeah.
had a little sneaker dance, and we did Above the Clouds theme, and there were lights everywhere, and the kids ran through like a sea of balloons when they first came in. And it was just really sweet because it may have been their first experience with church, some of them, and it's something I know they'll remember. Like, it was just shock and awe when they walked in. And it was just so sweet. They were so happy, and Sam did a great job entertaining them with like little dances and games, and then there was like a DJ and lights, and it was just really sweet. And sometimes you do stuff like that for school and you don't know if they like really like appreciate it, but the principal sent us like a 6-minute long thank you from like I think everybody maybe in the school said thank you like to us, and so afterwards, and it was just really amazing. And there's ladies that faithfully serve there every week. They do
Oh, yeah.
breakfast, lunch, they bring them like drinks, they do a food pantry for the kids, and it's just like I would encourage everybody to be a part of something in their community like this because it's so sweet, and the teachers really do appreciate it, and the kids and the parents do too. So it's a great way to get them involved, and we're gonna do another one this year.
One of the sweet things about the dance, I thought, was the families came too, and they came dressed up, and we had a photo. Faith had a photo spot for them, and I thought it was super sweet that parents got to get pictures with their kids because you just don't always get to do that, you know, with everybody.
And
all
there were
in one
over
shot.
200 kids and family
Yes.
members there.
Yeah, a lot.
It was that
community,
dance
yeah.
party. It was awesome.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
That whole thing at Hazel Harvey has been such a huge win. The impact that we've been able to have there, the relationships that that team has developed there. You know, we talk about not wanting to put just pins on a map, like just bouncing all over and just doing one-off projects. We really want to go somewhere, get to know the people, put roots into that project, and make relationships. And that's really coming through now. So that's exciting. Good job. Oh, yeah.
Look at this.
Oh, fancy. Oh, I don't like it pointing at me.
Okay, that's mine. I got my little Bob the Builder hat because that represents the construction that we're now doing and we are in. Just walked through there just the other day, and it's amazing how quickly a building can be completely disassembled. And so, but we're starting to see it come together. Like the rooms, the layout of the rooms are there, and the new bathrooms, the hallway. We were just talking about. It's funny, you see something on paper for months and months and months, and then suddenly you see it in real life in the space of it.
Exciting.
And the rooms are way bigger than we anticipated, which is so good because we need space in that area. And then we haven't even begun the process of the new part of the construction. This is just the old. But man, this has been a project that we have been working on for almost 2 years now. Like just from the conception of it to raising the money for it to now actually in the building and doing it. And so we look forward to what that can mean for our grade school ministry, because that is an area we are needing space in. Trisha's doing her team is doing such a great job, and so that's going to be well used for many years to come, and looking forward to what that means for us in 2026. So yeah, good stuff.
I'm so excited.
Oh my word. What on earth? It's very cold ice.
It's a
It's an ice cube.
who put a piece.
That was me. So you can't really just at any point get hail, and so I grabbed a piece of ice, and it represents Summer Bash.
Yes.
And you know, Summer Bash this year was a lot of fun, and we had a really good time. We did get stormed out and hailed on, but I just remember for the second year, yes. I just remember, you know, there were so many people. I think around 800 or so were there, and it was just a blast. And we were getting to have fun, and emceeing the thing was a blast. Getting to see everybody walk around and enjoy that, and see all these different families who never seen before. And then as we were giving away prizes, all these families won, and you could just see the pure joy on their faces as they came up and realized they won something, that they then got to have a whole nother experience with their family because of that. Was really cool. And then when we did get rained out and hailed on, the amount of people who would go run inside and then go back out to help us bring stuff in just showed even more of how willing everybody is to help serve and make sure things get put away. And so I think it was a blast just to get to see and be a blessing to our city in that way was a lot of fun. Got some colorful rainbow mix organic carrot.
Oh,
Carrots.
Those are mine.
Uh-oh.
But they're seeds. So they're seeds because I tell people often that leading a small group is one of the hardest things ever. And to me, a seed really represents that because you have to do the hard work of messing with the soil. You got to plant the seed, you got to water it, you got to give it the sun, nutrients, and all that. And honestly, it really isn't about preference. It isn't about convenience. It's really about what does that seed need to grow into what the Lord's going to have it grow into. And I thought, man, that's a great representation of not just what we want to see in groups, but even what we're seeing in groups. And I just think all the time about what incredible small group leaders we have. Just amazing people who love the Lord and they love people, and they are day in, day out just putting in the work to see this really cool fruit starting to show up in our church. This is really awesome.
Okay, my turn. I started it. All right. Keys.
Jeez.
That's
Yeah.
mine. I brought them.
These are
She needs
yours.
them back. I do need them back. They actually represent another portion of Every Space Every Day. So we kicked that campaign off this year. Well, technically we kicked it off last year, but really it got going this year. But I just really have enjoyed seeing how we have leaned into Every Space Every Day as a church already. The preschool is still coming in January, but we have started using our building in ways that we haven't before on days that we've not regularly been opened, and we've had Girl Scouts come and banquets and school dances and trainings. And it's just been really neat to see how we want to be a church that is for our community and engage with our community, and opening our building for our community to come and use that space and host the things that they need to host. And also it's fun to have showers and weddings and just things to come around and celebrate with each other and with our community, and every space every day like we said we were going to do. I love it.
I remember when we were going through the vision meetings with all the small groups, and one of the things we talked about is the importance of the church kind of becoming incarnate in its neighborhood. Here we are in Christmas, we're talking about the incarnation, celebrating it once again, but that's really, we're kind of following the model of Jesus of just becoming a church that people can, right in the middle of our neighborhood. It's a place of activity, it's a place of connection, it's a place of service. We are trying to once again become an incarnate part of our own neighborhood, not just for those that show up on Sunday, but for people all around us every day. So every space, every day. That's awesome.
I wonder who put that in.
Oh, good job. Chip clip.
So this is a capo, and it allows you to play a chord. So let's say a G chord, and you put it on the second fret, and you can still play a G chord, but you're in the key of A. Then fourth
Makes
fret,
perfect sense.
key of B,
Yeah.
or you play C chord, second fret, key of D. The point is, you can play the same chord and be in a different key. So it makes me think about my team. This is my first full year as the permanent worship pastor, and I have so many different kinds of people doing one thing. And there's band, and there's tech, and there's guys running the tech, and I have engineers, and I have computer guys, and I have artists and creatives, and we all have to be in the same key for it to sound good. But I think it's cool because if you're a G, you can put the capo on and you can be in the same key as an A or whatever you need to be in. So I don't want people changing who they are. I don't need Tim or Daniel to be something they're not. I need to be them. But you have to kind of be able to, in humility, modify your wants and desires and what you see as what's right, and tweak it to be part of this team that's doing the same thing. And so with all kinds of different people, I think it's just a good representation of everyone in humility being hey, I'm gonna bend towards the middle here, even though we're all bending from different directions, you know. But yeah, I mean, I just smile when I think of these people and when I see them. And so I think, our team.
Awesome.
Good.
That's great. So part of this was just for us to get around and just remember, celebrate 2025 was a good year for the church. Looking back, I think we were just talking about children, like preschool, grade school, and students. If you combine all of those together, they're all up by about 20% from year to year, which is fantastic. We've had some really incredible growth, or kind of a resurgence in our growth groups. Like we started the year, you said 14 groups? 14 groups. We're ending the year at 19 groups. And what was that percentage of involvement?
It went from 20 to 40%.
From about 20%. And we talk about 20%. This is the number of people in worship.
Yeah.
So at the beginning of 2025, of all the people that were going to worship, only about 20% of those were involved in a group. And now we're seeing like right at about 40% now involved in a group. So that's exciting and trending up. We've had about 12 baptisms. We've had 12 baptisms this year. So all these are good things. And those are, I know, those are numbers, those are statistics, and you kind of don't want to always just hang your hat on numbers and statistics. But they do represent people. I mean, that there are stories behind that. There are names to those numbers. There's life change behind all of those numbers. And so it was a really productive year. It's just, we have to say these things because you kind of get in the rhythm of just Sunday to Sunday to Sunday. And I'm glad we can stop and just recognize at the end of the year that it was a really good year and that we are really well positioned for a good year coming up in 2026. And I'm glad I get to do it with all of you people and all of you people. So good year, huh?
Yeah.
Go team.
Go team.
Christ alone, my hope is found, and He is my light, my strength, my song. This cornerstone, this solid ground, and firm through the fiercest drought and storm. What heights of love, what depths of peace, when fears are still and striving cease. My comforter, my all in all, and here in the love of Christ I stand. In Christ alone, who took on flesh, the fullness of God and helpless faith. This gift of love and righteousness, scorned by the ones He came to save. Until on that cross, as Jesus died, the wrath of God was satisfied. For every sin on Him was laid, and here in the death of Christ I live. There in the ground His body lay, light of the world by darkness slain, then bursting forth in glorious day, up from the grave He rose. As He stands, and as He stands in victory, the sin's curse has lost its grip on me. For I am His, and He is mine. I'm bought with the precious cry to final breath. Jesus commands my destiny. No power of hell, no scheme of man can ever pluck me from his hands till he returns or calls me home. Here in the power of Christ I stand. Singing Christ alone. In Christ alone, my hope is found. He is my light, my strength, my song. This cornerstone, this solid ground, and firm through the fiercest drought and storm. What heights of love, what depths of peace, when fears are still and striving cease. My comforter, my all in all, here in the love of Christ I stand.
These days between Christmas and New Year's can make for a strange week. Things started speeding up at the end of October, and before you know it, we're through November, and then things really got fast. And we've been moving fast for weeks now, and then suddenly Christmas is here, and it is over, and then it gets quiet. And in that quiet, you can actually feel how tired you are. It's not just tired from the holidays, it's tired from a whole year. You're not just tired, you're weary. As a word of warning, I've learned that weariness creates an environment in which temptation can thrive. When we're tired, we let down our guard, we lower our defenses. Because of our weariness, we aren't as vigilant, not as diligent. But sometimes when you're tired, the temptation isn't always to do something bad. Sometimes the temptation is to give up doing things that are good. So with that in mind, listen to what Paul says to a group of people who were tired and discouraged, who were weary and were being tempted to let up or to give up. And Paul writes in Galatians, "Let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up." Paul writes those words to a group of people who were tired. They weren't lazy, they weren't disengaged, they weren't rebellious, they're just weary. And that phrase, become weary, it means worn down. It means you get exhausted to the point where quitting starts to sound reasonable. They had been trying to do the right thing in complicated relationships. They had been serving one another in a community that was messy and divided. They had been working to minister and to spread the gospel, and over time the effort had taken a toll. Because he knows that the greatest threat to doing good isn't always the opposition that we're going to face, but it's from the exhaustion that we feel. So when you're worn out, you don't usually quit all at once. You just slowly lose heart. You keep showing up, but without the same care. You keep going through the motions, but without the same energy. You start asking yourself, what's the point? Paul even felt that himself. Earlier in the same letter, he admits that he worries that his efforts might have been wasted. So when he tells them not to grow weary at doing good, he's not speaking from theory. He's talking out of experience. And then Paul gives them a new perspective. He says that there is a harvest that is coming. Now, he's using this agricultural language, and that matters because a harvest never happens on the same day that you plant. You put seeds in the ground, and for a long time, it looks like nothing is happening. There's no progress, no payoff, no visible return. But just because you can't see growth doesn't mean nothing is growing. One of the most discouraging parts of doing good is that the results are often delayed. You show patience, and the situation doesn't change right away. You keep loving, and the relationship stays complicated. You keep serving, and it just feels unnoticed. But here's what Paul wants them to remember about a harvest. A harvest always yields more than what was planted. You never plant one seed and expect just to get one seed. You plant one seed trusting and knowing that in time it will produce far more than what you put in. A harvest is always a positive return on what was invested. In other words, Paul isn't just saying something will happen. He's saying what is coming will be worth it. Not because the work was easy, not because the waiting was short, but because faithfulness multiplies in ways we cannot see while we are sowing. The patience you show now, the kindness you extend now, the good you keep doing now, it has a way of growing beyond the moment that it was planted. And even when the return doesn't look the way you expected, Paul says that harvest is coming and it is real, which is why he says don't give up, because quitting doesn't just stop the work, it cuts short what the work could have produced. He says the harvest comes at the proper time. He's reminding them that the timing matters. And it's not your preferred time, it's not your ideal time, but it is the right time. And that's important because most of us don't quit because we think doing good isn't worth it. We quit because we think it isn't working. And Paul says, don't confuse delay with failure. And he adds this, therefore, as we have opportunity now, we hear opportunity, we think it's just the random chances that come and go in our lives. But he's talking about a fixed window of time, a season that opens and eventually closes. And that's why this week matters. The new year is just around the corner, and counting down these last days of 2025 just heightens our awareness of time. It's about this time every year that we start feeling and remembering just how fast a year can go. And that sensitivity reminds us how significant this opportunity really is. Doing good isn't just something we put off until later, because later is never guaranteed. So Paul says, let us, in this opportunity, do good to all people. That's broader than we might expect. And to be clear, he doesn't qualify it. He doesn't narrow it. He doesn't say that we do good to the people who agree with you, or you do good to the people who appreciate it, or you do good to people who are like you or who deserve it. He just simply says we do good to all people, because doing good is not meant to be selective. It's meant to be visible. Paul understood that one of the most powerful ways faith shows up in the world is through consistent, tangible goodness. Not arguments, not volume, not social media posts, not winning debates, but kindness, sacrifice, service, generosity, showing up for people when they are in need. He knew that when people experience goodness first, they become more open to truth later. And that's exactly why this is important right now, because we live in a world that expects the worst from each other. A world that is quick to criticize, slow to forgive, and eager to divide. So when Paul says, let us do good to all people, he is inviting us to live in a way that stands out, that looks different, to be the kind of people who are kind, to be the people who bring help to a situation instead of heat, to be the people who offer compassion instead of suspicion, who are known more for what we give than what we take. Doing good isn't flashy, it's rarely dramatic, but over time, it builds and creates trust. And that trust opens doors that words alone never could. And when Paul adds that phrase that might surprise us, he says that we do good to all people, especially to those who belong to the family of believers. Now, we often talk about becoming a church that is irresistible to people who are unchurched, irresistible to people who are far from God. And that matters. How we treat those people who are new and skeptical or unsure about faith absolutely matters. But our irresistibility isn't just shaped by how we treat them, it's also shaped by how they see us treating one another. Because people don't just listen to what we say, they watch how we live. They pay attention to how we handle conflict and disappointment, how we fight and disagree, and ultimately how we forgive. And Paul calls the church a family for a reason, because families aren't perfect, they're complicated, they're messy, they require forgiveness and patience and endurance. But they're also the place where love is learned. This is where we practice showing up when it's hard. This is where we learn to stay even when walking away would feel easier. This is where we keep doing good even when the relationships are messy. Because Paul knew how believers treat one another would become the clearest evidence of what they believe. And when grace like that is practiced consistently in the family, it becomes real to those who are outside of it. Because community marked by kindness and generosity and perseverance, that kind of community becomes an invitation to a world exhausted by division. That kind of community doesn't just attract attention, it builds trust. A trust that will open doors nothing else can. And before we move on, I want to say this. This has been a good year at Hulen Street. I'm not saying it's been an easy year. It's not been a light year, but it has been a good year. It's a year that required effort, a year that required our faithfulness, that required a lot of people showing up when it just would have been easier not to. And I know many of you who are watching today, many of you have served, you have given, you have consistently invested in people, and you've carried responsibilities and done things that no one has ever seen or noticed. And if you're tired right now, I want you to know that's not failure. It's just evidence that you've been doing good. So as we close this year out, I want to give you permission to do something important. Catch your breath. Take a moment to rest, reflect, to be present in these days with the people that you love. Just let yourself slow down. I don't care what our culture says. Rest is not quitting. Rest is just preparation. Because next week on January 4th, we'll meet together again and we'll step into a new year. And we won't be rushed, not desperate, not frantic, but we'll step into that year ready to keep doing good, ready to keep sowing seeds of kindness, generosity, and faithfulness, ready to trust that God is at work even when that growth isn't obvious. Paul promises, and we believe, that a harvest is coming. And it's not because we're impressive or because we're good or perfect. It's because God's just faithful. I believe in 2026 that it really holds more than we can see right now. Coming in our future are more stories, more changed lives, more moments where doing good quietly makes a difference in eternity. So let's not give up. Let's not lose heart. Let's not become weary in doing good. And let's see what God does in and through Hulen Street in the next year. Love you all, and I'll see you in 2026.